I'm in Long Island and I'm talking to Bollywood actor Prashant Gupta and his amazing journey from Forest Hills to Mumbai. Prashant, first of all, you were the co-grand marshal for the India Day Parade in Long Island. Congratulations. How did it go?
Best experience of my life. I've been to a lot of India Day parades in New York, in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, but the heartfelt welcome here because I belong to Long Island. After Forest Hills, my family moved to Manhasset, and my journey from here to Mumbai, which a lot of people know about, has been quite a struggle, quite a journey. So to come back in the arms of all my loved ones, my community, I'm grateful. I'm on cloud nine.
Now you went through a lot of trepidation, a lot of failure, but you were able to surmount them, and that shows your grit and your determination, your courage to succeed as an actor.
Yeah. Well, what it is when you decide to do something in life, you don't necessarily make a plan B or a plan C. So you stick to it. You have to figure out what it takes to make it. In my case, I think part of the process was to know what I don't want to do in life. I didn't want to go into the family business. And I had everything it takes to become an actor, so I wasn't going to let destiny sort of give me everything it takes to make it and yet not make it. So it takes time. You don't belong to the industry. You're not producing your own films. You're there genuinely on merit. And after years of prayer, hard work, struggling, and figuring out what it takes, God willing, you find your way through, and I did.
And was it the different work ethic? They didn't know you. You didn't have any connections, like you said. You didn't want to run your father's business, so you're new out there,
Right.
and nobody knew you, and you had to start like, hey, I'm the actor. Know my talent. Was it that hard?
Well, it is, because when you think you're talented and people don't,
Exactly.
in the initial stages of your struggle, it's a very emotional process because the truth is they're not even willing to consider whether you're talented or not. They want to know where you came from and what you can do for them. So in my case,
And no godfather.
no godfather, and
No sugar daddy.
no sugar daddy, no godfather, no personal financer or investor. I come from a family that could have done a lot for me, but I stuck around. I said, it's going to take some time, but I'll make it through. So it's an emotional process, but a lot of motivational literature, a lot of spiritual books, meditation, healing, they get you through the process. I read a lot about famous actors who were once nobody, and it kind of grounds you because you know where their journey began. So if they can go through it, I've read about Dilip Kumar, Amitabh Bachchan, Dev Sahab, Rajesh Khanna, Nasir Sahab, all these people who are today icons and legends who started from nowhere. So it kind of grounds you to thinking, okay, you know what, it's okay. You'll find your time.
Well, so proud of you. Our own homegrown, Prashant Gupta. But you started out with this multi-ethnic musical, Rainbow Rani.
Yes, I did.
Right?
Well, when I was living here in New York, I was in acting school for a couple of years, and then I met with a producer who belongs to New York. I was interning in his office for a couple of years, or months maybe. He introduced me to a filmmaker by the name of Mickey Nivelli, who was once back in the day the manager of Sunil Dutt back in the 60s. And in the 70s, he sort of moved to the West Indies and created a whole film industry. So 30 years after what he did, he met me, I met him. He found me apt to be the lead in his film. It never got released, but nevertheless, it was my first break. After that, I moved to Mumbai.
Yeah, and then you did Kalo, the
Yes,
Zohara
yes,
film,
yes,
then
yes.
Identity on the Kashmir.
Yeah.
And now you're doing this biopic film, which is
Yeah.
great with Sonam Kapoor and Shabana Azmi. You got like really stalwarts over here, and it's Nirja.
It is.
Nirja Bhanot.
I've gotten some wonderful opportunities recently to work with some wonderful actors. After Nirja, which was with Shabana Azmi and Sonam Kapoor, I've just completed a film called Irada with Nasiruddin Shah and Rashid Warsi. I've just completed another war film with Prasenjit Chatterjee, who's a superstar in Bengali films, and Neeraj Kabi, who's a very refined actor of Indian cinema. And an identity card which went around the world with festivals, Saurabh Shukla, Raghubir Yadav, working with them directly. So I've had a good opportunity to work with some good actors.
You're doing so many genres over here, whether it's horror, or whether it's romantic film, or whether it's comedy, whether it's a war film. What do you like most?
For me, the most important thing is I'd like to go from film to film with a different experience, both as a character and as a storyline. I think I belong to the generation now that sort of imbibes its work ethic from Hollywood and content ethic from Hollywood. I can't imagine looking the same or doing the same kind of films throughout my career. So by all means, I invite the industry to surprise me every film. I'd like to get out of my comfort zone and do whatever I haven't done before.
Now, there's so many young kids out there want to be actors, and some or some may not succeed. But what would be your advice to them to keep that hope?
Well, first and foremost, learn the craft. A lot of people who think they have the ability should, get some more exposure and education of the craft. Secondly, pick up the newspapers, the magazines, all the books you can, all the movies you can that'll teach you about what it takes to make it through. Go out there, work hard, pray a lot, and the one advice that I will give the youngsters that was given to me and I didn't follow early enough, I am now, and fortunately I'm doing well because of it, is have an alternative as well. Not to fall back on, by all means, God willing, you'll never have to fall back on anything, but it'll keep your head a lot more sane if you have an alternative source of income and career, as do most Bollywood stars and actors, by the way. Even if you don't believe that, it's the truth, I know it.